Well, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. My name is Angeline Constantino. I am the founder, podcaster, and coach of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. And our podcast empowers women to rediscover themselves, reinvigorate their lives, and regain their power after domestic abuse. So please go to my website, which is letsbreakthesilence.com. You will find all the new episodes, and we are in season 3. And this is exciting because we have an exciting guest with us. So Denise is a survivor and thriver of narcissistic abuse. Denise is the founder of LIFE After Narcissism CSW Coaching, a global resource for victims of emotional abuse that offers support and coaching to women who are ready to break ties with narcissistic abuse in past relationships. As a survivor of trauma in narcissistic abuse, Denise uses her real life experience as a way to connect with others and teach, love, and support them in their healing journey. Denise's mission statement is to enhance the lives of survivors of abuse. Through the 4 core pillars of healing, we empower women to heal the trauma and awaken their true potential to create an extraordinary life after narcissism. She has a clear vision for seeing the spots that exist in every stuck situation and the creativity to transform it. Denise has managed to come out of her own 22-year toxic relationship with a smiling face and a positive attitude, and now shows other women just like you how to do the same. So I just wanted to let everyone know here before I bring on Denise is please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And I am so excited to bring Denise on. So please comment below where you are tuning in from. Please smash the heart button and please share this live out. So without further ado, hi, Denise.
Hi, Angeline. I'm so excited to be here today and talk to you and share this message.
I am so glad that you're here with us.
Thank you.
I am so glad that you are here with us. So Denise, what is the time where you are right now?
I'm on the East Coast. It's 2:07.
2:07 p.m. Okay, great. And you live in the state of Florida, is that correct?
No, North Carolina. I'm from Florida.
Oh, you are from Florida. Okay. So how is the weather in North Carolina today?
Cold. It's 41.
It's colder here.
You're in New York, right?
Yes, upstate New York. So I live 20 degrees right now.
No.
0. I think North Carolina is a little bit cooler. So, here we go. We got someone here from
Ontario.
Here's my girlfriend, Michelle.
Hi,
Michelle Connigan. We had the pleasure of connecting on TikTok. So she is here. Hi from Ontario, Canada. Wow, it must be freezing up there, Michelle. But thank you so much for your support and thank you for joining us today. Really, really appreciate you. So
love the purple hair, Michelle.
I love the purple hair. Oh yeah, she's amazing. Michelle
beautiful.
Is truly amazing. I love the purple hair. She is amazing. Michelle is truly amazing and inspires me. So who is Denise? Please tell us. The viewers who are tuning in today, we're live, by the way, on my Facebook page, on my private Facebook group, Let's Break the Silence, and on my YouTube channel. So who is Denise? Where did she come from?
Well, the Denise now is happy, living a fulfilling, amazing life, relationships, everything is so over the top, amazing and beautiful and wonderful. And inspiring. The Denise now shares her message. The Denise now is completely different from the Denise that she used to be. So where I started was coming from that 22-year relationship that you were describing in my bio, and living through narcissistic abuse and not even knowing it. I think this is really important, Angeline, because a lot of people are in these relationships and don't even know it. Me, right? it wasn't until I was out of the relationship for 2 years that I realized what I had been through. So narcissistic abuse, I share it as the silent abuse, because unlike domestic violence abuse relationships or sexual abuse, it's clear as day that this is the abuse that's going on.
Right. Okay.
So I got married really young, 21 years old. I had my first child at 23, my second child at 24. I was madly in love with my then husband, wanted a family, was excited to have a family. And, the red flags and the signs were there even back then, even before I walked down the aisle. But when you don't know what this truly is, you just make excuses and you think, he's having a bad day or this, whatever. And so that 22 years, I'm a slow learner. It took me to, it took a lot of traumas and dramas throughout the 22 years to finally say, I'm not happy. This is exhausting. When you have kids, you want the kids to have a family. You want to keep the family together. That was my goal, right? To keep the family together, to not have my kids have a part-time homes and part-time parents and all of that goes in with divorce, which I'm sure every person thinks about when they, consider divorce. So it took me, that thought process to keep our family together and try to hold everything together. But the more that I was trying to hold everything together, the more it was completely falling apart. So the Denise before was miserable, sad, clueless to what she was going through, and really just wanted, the happily ever after ending, but things turned out differently. And through all of that emotional pain and trauma and everything that I had been through, never thinking in a million years that this is the life that I would have now. So,
wow.
Completely different.
Completely different. Completely different. I just want to read Michelle's comment here. So many people are in them and unaware of the toxicity they're living in, which is true, Michelle. Absolutely.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So how does one feel safe and trust again? Yeah. So what are the strategies that you implemented? In other words, for yourself.
So those are two of the things that women share with me that they struggle in. They say, I want to feel safe in a relationship and I don't know how to trust, because and it's no wonder after what they've been through, of course they're going to feel this way. So through all of the traumas and the dramas that they've been through, they've built up this huge brick wall energetically around them to not let anybody in their heart, because they don't want to feel that pain again. They don't want to go through that emotional pain again. It's extremely painful. Truthful, it is. So there has to be a level of safety first in order to trust again. And so what I share with women is that the safe feeling has to come from within. So I share with women, all right, do you feel safe with yourself? What are the thoughts that you're saying? What's the conversation that you're having with yourself? And are those conversations safe? Or are you being critical of yourself? Are you being judgmental of yourself, right? Because if that's the conversation that's going on inside of your head, that's not feeling safe. That's fight or flight. That's very much on the edge. Right? So the safety feeling has to come from within first in order for you to get to the point to feel safe enough to trust not only yourself, but other people, to let down that wall, to let somebody in.
Right.
To be emotionally available, to be emotionally vulnerable after what you've been through. There has to be that healing process to heal from the past experiences that they've had. And safety and security and trusting, these are all huge factors in that process of healing.
Okay. Yes, I agree. And Kerwin He's from South Africa. Kerwin, welcome.
Kerwin.
Another good friend that I met on TikTok.
Yay.
Dark supporter by cause. And Michelle says you have to learn to trust yourself first.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's the misconception too, is that people think, there's this overwhelming feeling. I know I get overwhelmed if I think, oh God, I have to learn how to trust. I would have to learn how to trust everybody else, like dating, for instance. Okay. So let's say somebody's been in this type of relationship, they got out of it, and perhaps they didn't know what truly they've been through. This was my story, right? And then you go back out and date, and then you think, oh gosh, how am I going to trust all of these people that I'm interacting with? That's very overwhelming, because you're thinking, I have to learn how am I going to trust this person and this person and this person?
Right.
When that's not how it goes. It's actually the opposite. It's, how do I trust myself first? And by trusting myself, I'll know with my own body that communicates with me every day if this person is a yes trustworthy or no trustworthy. Which for me, I know that brings it pulls it all in and brings a calming feeling, like, oh good, I don't have to learn how to trust every single person on the planet. I just have to learn how to trust myself, and then I'll know.
Exactly. Absolutely. Now you talk about, let's see what Kerwin says. We're having an interesting discussion here today. This is what I love. So please smash the heart button. Let us know if this live is resonating with you. Please share this out with a friend, or if you have a private Facebook group. Okay, so Kerwin says, in my view, women have so much power. They are capable of so much. They need to realize their strength and rise above all the hurdles they face. Boy, Kerwin, you nailed it.
We all have that power. Men and women, we all have that ability and that power. Yeah. And we all have our unique power. So yeah, what Kerwin is saying, we have our own feminine power, and men have their own masculine power. And here's what I've discovered in all of these years of doing coaching women out of these narcissistic abusive relationships, is that when they're in these relationships, they've actually pulled in more of their masculine energy, which I call the mother energy. And the mother energy is, she loves too much, she gives too much, she does too much for everybody else, and she puts herself on the back burner. So when a woman is in mother energy, because we know scientifically that like energy attracts like energy.
Exactly.
So when she's in the mother energy, she's going to attract child energy. And the child energy is, when you look at narcissistic behavior, that's child energy. So the mother energy and the child energy go together. It's not healthy, but they go together. So the key in all of this is to have the woman in the relationship, or the man can be in this energy too, parent energy.
Got it. Okay.
Where he's loving too much, giving too much, doing too much for everybody else, and he's putting himself on the back burner. And so he's going to attract the narcissistic woman, the child energy, right? So the key is for the woman to be in her feminine energy, which is the duality of both, right? It's right. Exactly. It's the woman energy, and same for the man, because the man, he's actually in his feminine energy too much, right? So he needs to pull back and have the balance of both to have a healthy relationship.
And I agree. Totally agree with you. Okay, so you talk about the pillars. Okay, so let's talk about the pillars.
Okay.
That you bring to the table.
Okay, so three of these. So these are the three. They originated from the 3 keys of healing, and I cannot take credit for them because they were taught to us by our great masters, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, masters like that.
Right.
So, and those 3 keys are self-love, forgiveness, and truth. Those are the 3 keys. I've added trust. And that's how it becomes the 4 core pillars of healing. Trust, because like I said, this is the number one thing that women share with me that they struggle with, trust.
Right.
And it's no wonder when you've been cheated on, when you've been lied to, when you've been duped in relationships over and over again, of course you're not going to trust. That's a normal human reaction. So these are the 4 core pillars of healing ourselves so that we can now confidently step into a new and healthy relationship. When you love yourself 100%, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, including the past, including the hurt, including the pain, right? This is like what Curran was saying. You're stepping into your power, right?
Right, exactly.
When you can forgive yourself for the choices that you've made in the past, the things that you did or didn't do, forgiveness all around. Again, you're standing in your power. And truth, so huge, Angeline, truth, because the things that I share out in public are things that I would not dream in the past of sharing my truth.
Right, exactly.
Because there was such shame around my truth. There was such guilt around my truth. There was such blame on myself around my truth that I was humiliated by sharing these things because of what, that voice inside me was like, oh my God, Denise, really? You're so stupid. How could you do that? How could you stay in this relationship for 22 years? On and on and on with that, I call her the Debbie Downer, the negative Nancy voice inside of us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So truth is really, really important to be able to share your truth, even if it's just with yourself. Doesn't mean you have to get on a platform like this and tell the whole world. It just means that you are comfortable with your truth. You've accepted what has happened, and that way you can move on from it.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's important.
Yeah.
For me, it was stepping into my own truth. And for me, I had to be transparent and vulnerable.
Right.
It's
important.
Yeah. And first of all, admit that I was playing the victim.
Yes, that's huge. That's a big one right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
Admitting, that you were the victim, and now you're ready to go to from victim to victor, and thrive after domestic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Jackie said something here. She said, all for men, LOL. I don't know what that means, but okay. So for those of you who are tuning in today, if this is resonating with you, please let us know in the comments below. Please let us know what your biggest takeaway is. But I do want to talk about forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because I believe that is very hard for domestic abuse survivors.
Mm-hmm.
So what were the strategies that you implemented as far as forgiveness is concerned?
Well, one of the first things that really hit me, not hard, but like really hit me to where I was like, oh, whoa, was listening to Louise Hay talk about forgiveness. And the way that she explained it, which was, because I did it too. It's very easy to come out of these types of relationships and for us as the victim to point the finger at so-and-so and such person and situation that they did this, they did that. I wasn't a part of that, right? I remember myself pointing the finger at my ex and saying, well, I wasn't the cheater. I wasn't the liar. I wasn't the one who was doing drugs. I wasn't the one who was bringing home STDs, right? You were the one who was doing that. So I was blaming him. Yeah. And so Louise Hay explains it so eloquently with looking at your parents as once upon a time, we were all children. We were all children, every one of us. So looking at your abuser, and you have to really come to like this point. This is not like straight out the bat with forgiveness, right? I mean, Angeline, you've had to go through this process.
I know.
She says, look at your parents were one time children, and what did they go through as children?
Yeah.
What did they endure as little children? And what did they, what did they take on? What did they go through? What emotional pain, what did they, what was their childhood like? And when you can look at that person as a child versus this adult monster who did what they did,
Right.
especially, parents, it becomes less difficult and challenging to start your forgiveness process.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that was one of the first things that really helped me to start forgiving. The other one was when I was just what I was just sharing, like how I blamed my ex-husband for, basically everything. And then I had my first empowerment coach, and she said something along the lines of, well, what did you bring to the relationship? What was your contribution to the relationship?
I like that.
Yeah. And at that time, I was in my victim story, like you were saying, right? I was just pointing the finger and, I was doing everything, trying to save and do all the good things, right? But when I took a deeper look at what I was co-creating, because two people in a relationship are co-creating, there's 50-50, we're both in it. What was I contributing to that relationship? Then I started to break it down and look at it as like, oh, yeah, I made excuses and I lied too. I lied for him, right? I lied to people. I wasn't standing in my truth. I wasn't standing in my power. I was making excuses for his behavior. And there's the mother energy, right? The mother energy, think of the mother with the spoiled little brat child, right?
Yeah.
And so, Mrs. Kavaliauskas, Johnny was really bad in school today. And the mom says, oh, well, he didn't get enough sleep last night. So, I'm sorry, making excuses, apologizing for the child's behavior, not holding the child accountability, or even having a discussion with the child of like, why were you, misbehaving in school today, and working it out. So this was the part of my journey where I had to take responsibility for my half of the relationship. My half, not his half, my half.
Right. Okay. See that?
Yeah.
You took ownership.
Ownership. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. You have to.
You have to take ownership. That's what I did. I took ownership. So let's read some of the comments here. Michelle. Forgiveness is key for freedom to break free and the healing process. Totally agree, Michelle.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is
break free from the internal prison that we've put ourselves in by not forgiving and holding those grudges. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Delroy is from the UK. Hey, Delroy, how are you? See? Hey, Denise.
Hey, Delroy.
We have some nice comments here today. I like that way of looking at it. Exactly.
Awesome. Glad it's helping.
It is helping, yes. Now, I have another question to ask you. How does someone fully identify and heal their triggers? So, in other words, if someone is triggered.
I love talking about triggers. Yes.
Good. Let's elaborate on that.
Okay. So first, let me share what is a trigger, right? Because everybody thinks a trigger is, that people get triggered of who they don't even know, right? So TV characters or whatever, and they're like, oh, he or she pissed me off. I can't believe he or she said that. Here's what a trigger is. A trigger is simply an old story and or an open wound.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you watch a commercial and it pisses you off, right? The commercial, the storyline of the commercial pisses you off. So it's not that commercial pissed you off. It's the reaction of the feeling you got from the commercial that pissed you off. Old story, open wound. So now you have to tie back this feeling that you have. So first identify the feeling that you have. right? It's not the commercial. It's like how I feel. So how do I feel? I feel pissed off. Okay, well, we know that anger is a layer over hurt. What
Okay.
am I hurting about? Right? You can ask yourself these questions and get the answer. Your higher self, your inner self will answer it for you. So what am I pissed off about? What am I hurt about? Right? And see what comes up. You can also journal on this or meditate or whatever. Right? So then an image will come up in your head, or a scenario, an old story, a situation, you as a child, maybe, a visual of a time will come up in your head. And that's how you can identify, okay, that's when I was hurt. Who hurt me? Who was that person that hurt me?
Right.
Because remember, this is an old story. It's an open wound. So now you've identified, oh, it was my mom, or it was my dad, or it was whoever that hurt me. Okay. And when you can identify who it was, where you were, how old you were, now you can go in and you can give that version of you, that 8-year-old version of you, that 10-year-old version of you, that 5-year-old version of you, the proper and healthy attention that that version of you didn't get in that old story, in that open wound.
Okay.
So whether that be, I like writing exercises to release it out of your body.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Totally agree.
So I would say write to your 8-year-old self, or, whatever version of that was yourself. Right. So, dear Denise, 8 years old. And then you, as an adult that you are now, having the tools and the knowledge and the love and support that you have now, giving that to your 8-year-old version that she didn't get at that time. And basically rewrite the story is what you're doing. You're rewriting the story.
Okay.
And releasing it out of your body to peel, shed, and heal it.
There you go. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that, because there are some women who have trouble dealing with the triggers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a whole process. That's just like an overlay of the process that I go through with my clients for triggers. I have a whole process that goes through questions to ask and get to the real like nitty gritty of, peeling, shedding, and healing back this old story, this open wound, so that it never shows up again. So now the next time you see that same commercial, you think, oh, that used to piss me off, but not anymore. You react differently to it. You have a different reaction now.
Right.
And I call it like you have no charge to it anymore. You're very neutral about it, right? It's not good and it's not bad. It just is. And I'm fine with it either way.
Right, exactly. Now, I just want to talk about something that happened this morning. So there is a lady who now has realized that she hasn't completely healed from her narcissistic abuse and is in another relationship. And now she's trying to heal this person and she's feeling exhausted. So you may know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention the name for privacy. So how do you go about helping that woman, to make sure that, because you can't pour from an empty cup. That's what I'm trying to say. And in my opinion, you cannot go into another relationship unless you have completely healed from trauma and narcissistic abuse.
Yeah.
Well, what does she do in that situation? If she's trying to, she's pouring from an empty cup, how can she be completely healed herself when she can't even help her partner?
So the first thing that she has to realize is asking herself, why do I feel it's necessary for me to save everybody else?
Right. Okay.
And not save myself? Like, where do I fit into this? Right. So mother energy, she has a huge rescuer side to her. And a lot of my clients are empathic. They're empaths. And empaths, they're very much, and this is why empaths and narcissistic people go together like peanut butter and jelly. Unfortunately, it's a match made in hell, because one's a giver, one's a taker.
Oh boy, see?
And they go together. Right. And so the empath, who is the giver, he has a huge rescuer side to them. And empaths are so beautiful. They're so amazing. They're so beautiful. And they see narcissistic people. They see the good in narcissistic people. They want to see the good, and they try to pull that out of them. And that's where the saving comes in, and trying to rescue them, because they see that this person can be good. There was once upon a time they were a good person, right?
Yeah.
And so they try to go in and save this person, but you can't save, well, first of all, you can't save a narcissist. You can't save anybody. The only person that you can save, is yourself. And so I would say, first identify, like, why do you feel it's important for you to save all of these people and not you? Where do you fall in the line of importance for yourself?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. Because that's when, like you said, she'll choose to fill her cup up first and pour from it runneth over, not pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that would be the first thing that I would share. And also to like recognize that it's not right or wrong that she's in mother energy. It just is. It's just an energy. And there's nothing wrong, damaged, or broken about this person. She just needs to shift from the mother energy to the woman energy. It's just a shift in energy. Okay. Right? So there's nothing that needs to be fixed. There's no surgery that needs to get done. It's just a shift of the energy from the mother energy to the woman energy.
And I agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well said. And I want to read some of the other comments here.
Sure.
Kerwin, that's an awesome way to deal with triggers. I like it, and we'll use it. Oh, good.
Score.
Yay, Kerwin. You're a champion. Delroy, yes, you respond instead of react. And Delroy says, yes, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. There's no way. And you have to save yourself. You can't save the other person. That's what I tried to do for too long.
Yeah.
You can only save yourself.
Yeah.
Pay attention to you.
Yeah. And we both, Angeline, talk from experience, right? That's why we're here. Right. So we know when, like the scenario that you just brought up of the person who's now in another situation, another relationship, and she wants to save this person. We've been there. We know what it's like, and we know how it ended. It never ends well. These people, narcissistic people, abusive people, are energy vampires. They suck all the energy from you. They leave you depleted. A lot of them, I've heard many, many stories, because they're takers. So not only are they taking energy, but they're taking money. They're taking, other relationships. They're taking your heart. They're taking. And I've heard women who are completely like broke and depleted because of the relationship that they were in. And it's hard to hear these stories and to go through these stories, and even just to know, like, it's simply just shifting your energy from the mother energy to the woman energy so that you never attract these takers again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're energy vampires.
They
exactly.
are.
No doubt about it.
That's never going to change.
Exactly. And Delroy says shift of the energy from the mother energy, which I love that analogy.
To the woman.
Too.
Yeah.
From the mother energy to the woman energy.
Yeah.
Well, this is truly amazing. I am so happy that you joined us today.
Thank you.
Before we close the broadcast, where can people find you?
My website, trueloveaftertoxiclove.com. Yep, there it is.
Okay, good.
It's still being built up, but all of the contact information is there where they can find me. Okay. And, an ebook and some other fun stuff there. trueloveaftertoxiclove.com.
All right, good. And can anyone book a call with you, like a clarity call? All right.
Absolutely. I call it a heal your heart session.
You know what? I love that. Heal your heart session. I love that. Yeah. Because we have to heal first.
That's right.
Now, have you incorporated meditations? Because there's a lot of chakra meditations and.
Yes, I love doing meditation. So whenever I do challenges or websites or anything, I always implement the meditation at the end, because again, when people show up for these types of things, they're shifting their energy, whether they know it or not. Right. So for instance, you're welcome, Delroy.
You're welcome, Delroy.
Yeah. So for instance, like I have an upcoming trust again challenge. So as they're learning how to trust again, they're shifting the energy from the old version of them who didn't trust to the new version of them who does trust. And the meditation pulls all that new energy in. Yeah.
Exactly.
Heal your heart, body, and soul. Yes.
There you go. Heal your heart, body, and soul. There you go.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's beautiful.
So how often do you do the challenges? Is it once a month?
Yeah, well, every other month, and then I'll do like a master class in between. So every month I have something going on to share this information. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So Denise, in closing, what's a special message that you would like to share to the audience who is tuning in today?
What I always love to share, Angeline, is for you to be kind and patient with yourself during this time. The healing process needs extreme self-care. So care for yourself, like get those extra, bubble baths, or go treat yourself to a massage or a facial, or just have some girlfriends over and do it. Just give yourself that extreme self-care and be patient and kind to yourself during this process.
And you know what? That is great advice. That is excellent advice. And speaking of that, I am going to take care of me. I am taking care of me. So after this broadcast is over, I am going to go outside and get some fresh air. Even though it's 20 degrees here, I'm going to go drive to the park. But I'm not going to get out of the car. Even just not getting out of the car, you're in fresh air.
Yeah. That's true.
And it doesn't cost you anything.
Right?
So,
yeah.
So we can do things like take a bubble bath. I have a bathtub here. Take a bubble bath.
Yeah. A detox bath. Can I share real quick what a detox bath is?
Yes, please.
For you and your audience? Okay. Epsom salt.
Yes, I have Epsom salt.
Okay. 4 cups of Epsom salt. Okay. And 32 ounces of hydrogen peroxide. This is a detox bath.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Okay. I share this with everybody, but especially when you're peeling, shedding, and healing from the narcissistic abuse or any abuse in your life. It's really good to take a detox bath. You can even take a dry brush and dry brush your skin before you get into the tub. Your body, your arms, your legs, and stuff.
Right.
And then get into this warm or hot bath with 4 cups of Epsom salt and 32 ounces of hydrogen peroxide, and detox that beep off of you.
There you go. That's a detox bath.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Delroy is saying, care for yourself. Exactly.
Care for yourself. Love yourself. Yes, it's so important.
Yourself. Yeah. Loving yourself is so important. Loving yourself before loving others.
Yes.
So anyways, this was a great podcast. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in to today's live. So again, welcome to my podcast. So new episodes are available at letsbreakthesilence.com. And please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence with Angeline on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. A rating would be greatly appreciated as well, because we are breaking the silence on domestic abuse, and narcissistic abuse, because it's an issue that I know is swept under the carpet.
And far more common than people think.
Right. And there is a stigma, misconception to discuss. Yeah. So Kerwin says, much love, ladies. God bless and take care. I love Kerwin.
Much love to you.
It's really warm in South Africa too. So
lucky.
Winter here. Okay. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us on the live broadcast here on Facebook and on my YouTube channel. And if you are catching the replay, please hashtag replay in the comments below. And if you got value today from today's live, please hashtag value. And Denise, please stick around for 1 minute after the broadcast is over. So we are going to end the broadcast today. So God bless everyone and have a wonderful day. And we will see you on the next live broadcast.
Bye.